Welcome. In this edition of Kurukshetra, we would understand about some of the important developments regarding the rural landscape. We'll talk about some of the startups in the rural areas and the related activities. So, to begin with, in the rural areas, digitization has brought in a lot of skill development, e-commerce, health tech, fintech as some of the major centers in the rural area. Now, some of the schemes to help entrepreneurs grow in rural area include Atal Community Innovation Centers. Now, these were launched in 2020 to promote grassroots level innovation. Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program was started under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Yojana, the National Rural Livelihood Mission as a sub-scheme of that. Then you had Skill India Mission. This is under the Ministry of Skill Development. This program has been released, and this is for the rural youth. The next is Aspire, that is mainly for the Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprise for the incubation of entrepreneurs in the agro-rural sectors. Now, what are the major types of rural setups? If we focus on those, it could be related to agritech, fintech, health tech, some of the common examples from each of those that we would be bringing in. So, for agritech, some examples include DHart, Croppin, Ninja Cart, Kheti Gadi. Then for food processing, it is Intello Labs for raw agricultural produce to marketable produce, Millet Magic, Serp Farm, Millet Amma. Then for e-commerce, Meesho partnership with the Ministry of Rural Development has been brought for portal to be developed for self-help groups. Similarly, for edtech, Digital Delight, Learning Delight, Sudiksha Knowledge, then you have Classlay, Pathshala as some of the important aspects. For the health, it is MedSeva, Grameen Health, Black Frog Technologies, AI Health Highways, and so on. For the renewable energies, AgriVijay is one of that. Handicraft, then we have various traditional handicrafts which focus on Thinggood, Shilpkari, and Pital. Fintech, iFinance, Bank Sati, Bharat Pay, Khata Book, propelled as some of the others. Now, what are the challenges for rural startups? For challenges for rural startups include making connectivity with urban areas, bringing access to financing, lack of support system and ecosystem, and a limited funding mechanism to be brought. Now, talking about reform, perform, and transform. In the agricultural startups or any other startups in rural areas, the idea is to first bring in a reform with incubators, accelerators, and then bring in performance, and finally transform the existing system. So, what are the important accelerators and incubators? iIdea started as one of the important technologies for agricultural research in Hyderabad. It had a very good result. Then Agri Udan, focusing on inputs, smart agriculture, food technology, and supply chain technology. Center for Innovation, Incubation, and Entrepreneurship, focusing on the mission to empower the early entrepreneurs. Then we have CRISIT, which is the International Crop Research Institute, and this actually focuses on various aspects pertaining to the agriculture and the growth of agriculture. Finally, we focus on aspects like which focuses on accelerator funds. So we have the Agricultural Accelerator Fund to enhance productivity and profitability. Agritech Startup Accelerators. Now these startup accelerators are again important as they have significant developments in a specific area. We also focus on developments which pertain to the various agricultural startups. Along with that, we have women tech startups, right? So these women-led startups are again important. Now, women-led startups focus mainly by utilizing the Startup India, PM Mudra schemes, and women-owned businesses. Then to promote it, we have a virtual incubation program under the Women Entrepreneurship, which has been executed for startup technologies, training women for 3 months to 20 months. Wing program where 7,500 entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs come together, both aspiring and existing. This was implemented in the regions of Guwahati and Kohima, and this focuses on generating idea, governance, marketing, and mastering customer strategy. The next is fund access. Under fund access, we have MSMEs, women-owned MSMEs as among the major ones. Female entrepreneurs to grapple with more of mobility and logistics, Mahila Samriddhi Yojana to facilitate SC/ST fund, and Ministry of Social Justice to focus on that. Mudra Yojana for women. Now, Mudra Yojana for women focuses on extending the loans of rupees 10 lakhs and above to women entrepreneurs and for production where they could actually invest. This is available to women in the age group of 18 to 65 years. Mentoring women entrepreneurs under Niti Aayog platform is again important. Nai Roshni scheme for leadership of minority women is one such a scheme. It collaborates with NGOs and civil bodies. Public sector banks have been working forward through Sent Kalyani, that's by the Central Bank of India. Dena Bank has another important aspect which has to be focused on it. Then we focus on trade, which is focusing on just a second. Okay, so trade, which focuses on the trade related entrepreneurship assistance and development and operates under the Ministry of MSMEs. Now, this provides support to NGOs, and the primary objective here is understanding what are the ways ahead and developing those. The next is the startups and understanding the startups. So there is a various important sector that focuses on development, which talks about filling the gap, bringing in mentorship, intermediate support if it is to be provided, some common challenges, and bringing in the need of the time. The next is bringing in drone revolution. Now, this is unmanned aerial vehicles which could be used for fostering growth in the agricultural area to revolutionize the rural economy and the agricultural economy. There are various production linked schemes for that. Ban on drone imports has been done. Drone rules have been brought. There are pros and cons associated to it, which includes utilization of ultra low volume spraying technology in agricultural drones, which could actually require less of insecticides and pesticides to be used because of this ultra low volume spraying technology and the best results that could be brought. Similarly, for water security, technology plays a major role. WASH, which is rural water, sanitation and hygiene sector, has to be brought into account. The rural population accounts for 64% of the total population and ensures that Swachh Bharat Mission and Jal Jeevan Mission has been brought. Now, the startups in the WASH sector include Boon, Vasar Labs, Water Lab India, Gene Roberts and Kheti, and these address the various issues in the rural area. Similarly, to address the various issues of WASH sector, creation of diverse bacteria forms of sludge decomposition, e-waste exchange program and portal to be built. Then we have the Atal Innovation Mission Water Innovation Challenge. This has been brought jointly with Innovation Center Denmark and talks about bringing in a bilateral green strategy for water conservation and bringing in innovations to help solve the water related programs. National Startup Awards for Rural Drinking Water had been introduced in 2020, and this emerged in various categories of startups, innovators and business models. There has been a cash prize for 5 lakh which has been given along with an opportunity to present the idea to the public authority so that it could be implemented in a long way. Food processing sector, 2023 we saw the inaugural ceremony for World Food India, and this focused on startups related to food sector, mainly to minimize the wastage for the perishable agricultural produce, facilitate value addition and focusing on generating employment based on this. So some of the statistics related to that has been given. Now the significance in this sector focuses on the overall growth as well as the economic growth, tangible as well as intangible. And then we have some of the major features which include one district, one product, self-help groups, seeding the capital for self-help groups, training and research, supporting for capacity building and cooperatives. Now startup linkage for global market is again important. It includes a major role in connecting the importers, food processing sectors to be brought together, the idea of exchange and exchange of goods to be included, and finally the social startups which are mainly for the social purpose. It could be agritech, dairy, textile, e-commerce. All of these have certain gaps, and to bridge up those gaps, what could be the next step forward has to be taken into account into tier 1 and tier 2 cities. So for rural areas, mainly it's the sectors include agriculture, animal husbandry, textile, healthcare and service related innovations. Then we do have existing challenges which focuses on the market strategy, the demand supply analysis, and that way we understand what could be the vision for an Atmanirbhar Gaon. So those were some of the important aspects that we have discovered in this Kurukshetra edition, specifically focusing on entrepreneurships, startups in rural areas, the various sectors, the various kind of startups, and how they could be further enhanced and utilized. We will be having the handouts for these available on exam race itself, so just check out in the current affairs section. Thanks for joining in.